Hi, speaking is Ruth Kenner from I Quilt and More. Welcome to my studio. Today we're talking about the second part of getting to know the sewing machine or the unboxing. I first want to correct a few mistakes that I had made. I said that the machine weighed 14 pounds, which is a grave error. It actually weighs 14 kilos, which is 30 pounds, point 8. So that's a big difference. And the other thing is I talked about the Bernina scissors that I really love. And I went to the dealer and found out that even though they don't have them on display, they do specially order them. They do make them. You can still get, as of December 2018, the box set that I showed earlier with the gold-plated scissors, which I really enjoy. But you can always get individual pieces, and I do recommend them. I am enjoying them immensely. So let's get started on the sewing machine. I myself am not a person that gets intimidated by technology. I was one of the first teachers, that's my profession, to embrace the computers and use them in the classroom. I started with a Kenmore, I went to a sewing machine, I went to a Viking, and from there I went to a Singer, and then I upgraded finally to a Bernina 153 that my husband bought me as a gift. And I embraced it. Well, this baby, for the first time, kind of intimidated me. I wouldn't call it a step up, I would call it a leap. There was so much to do and I didn't know how to get started. So I remembered what I usually taught students that I had when I private taught and teach other teachers. Take baby steps. Get started a little bit at a time. And I took my own advice, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm just showing you the basics and why I'm so excited. In the future, I'm also going to demo the bobbin, how it works, because I was really impressed with that. Get from the get-go. But right now, I just want to work on sewing and what we did. So if we zero in right here, you'll see that my machine is already turned on, and it's not in, it's already been turned on, and I have it adjusted to the quilting place. But I want to show you is that I went in to settings, and first thing I wanted to do is I wanted to make it more personal, the sewing machine. So I picked out the colors. You can see I picked out gold because I wanted it to match it. Maybe eventually I'll change it. And this is the purple fang that I discovered works just like the tool they gave us to use. So I thought that was kind of funny. And I went in and I adjusted that. The other thing is I went into the settings because I have a personal way of sewing and I know what it is already. So once I figured out I can do that really easily. So I went into settings, and then I go right here when you see a hand pressing on a dial. And I went to the foot. You see a picture of a sewing machine, and all this would be in your manuals that you get, but sometimes it's easier just to have somebody show it to you. And this is the hover stitch, and I really like this. This is the foot, not the stitch, I'm sorry, the hover foot will be at not at full length height. So it's easier to move around small pieces of fabric so you can adjust where exactly you want to start. You press this and it can hover higher, and I experimented with it. And you press this and it hovers lower. And I discovered if you press in the middle right there, it'll go back to the default. The default setting is the setting I like, and probably it's default for a reason, which means that it's most likely where everybody wants it to be. So then I go out, and each time you can go backwards without going all the way out, but I thought that I would show you how to go into everything a few times so it's easier to remember. So here we go back into this, and I went into the foot control. So the foot control, if I press there, that's the basic. That's what my old machine had. You step on the heel, and it puts the needle up and down. But I have a button that does that right here. So I pressed the heart, and I changed it. And here I have all sorts of things. So I have it on knotting. And I could have it knot so it stitches in one place, 4 or 5 stitches, or I prefer this, 4 very tiny stitches, and I can go up or down. And again, just press there, and 4 is what works well for me. I could decide to have the foot go up at the same time. I can decide to cut it, but I like 4 little stitches. That way I can cut as close as possible, and I have less of a mess when I finish my whole quilting project to clean up. But I don't like to cut it because I like the loose threads when I work. I do cut it, have it cut automatically though when I'm actually quilting and not piecing. So, and I really like this. I wasn't able to adjust my foot control this way, and I'm really pleased with this. So right here, if you notice, I'm not on basic stitching. If I was to go here, the default machine opens up on 1. But I went into quilt, and I use the stitch 1326, and that gets me just a basic quilt at 2. And I have the foot down, the needle down when it stops, but you could adjust it so it goes up when it stops. Okay, so let's get started. I prepared this little material. This is a material that I used. I was fortunate enough to make to be able to make a dress for my granddaughter. So it's just extra material here. I butt the pieces together so that they are close, so they that I sew well with it. I also use this little clippers that I really like, and I clip off the seams so there's less bulk. And yeah, I always have a mess to clean up when I'm done because I just kind of let the threads go. There are some special things that you can get that hook on the side of the table that I'm always thinking about getting, but there seems always to be other things that I want. I do pin this part. Now I have the 97D stitch, which it means it's not quite a walking foot, but it does work quite well without all the bulk. And that's really important for stitching well when we're doing these small projects and we're having seams go up. It really works well. I am so impressed with it. It was something really new that I didn't have on my other machine. Now I could pick up this, I press that, and the foot goes up. I really like that. So I then take this and I just stitch. I get it so it hovers. There it goes. See how it's just slightly up. And that way I can set it up and have it work really well. And then I meant to put it down. Okay, let me get this down. So, and then I put the needle in to see if it's exactly at the beginning. And that's really important because I'm going to use the 4 baby stitches that I always do. And you can see that this is a scant 1/4 inch. There is a tool to make it more exact. I find that I don't need it, but it is there for people who do want to use it. I plan on adjusting it and using it more for when I make clothes, that is. So I'm going to begin, and I'm going to, there we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it stops with the needle up, and then I have it adjusted here, so it's going a little slower. I don't usually do small pieces on the fast speed, and then I just press the machine, the pedal that we know, and we go. There we go. And see how the needle stops down. Only when I'm doing the baby stitches does it stop up. The thing that I want to show you, and I'm going to press it on slow because this is such a small piece, and I'm going to take out that needle, is that if I press down on that button for a while, it actually sews without the foot. Oops, I didn't do it right. There it goes. And I could have that sew on its own. And I don't plan on using it that much for piecing. For decorative stitches, I'll probably use that a lot, and I hope to do a video on that. I take out the needles, but this does sew quite well without it. And here we go, and let me speed it up. So I start to slow down when it gets to the 1/4 inch. I go one step past the 1/4 inch, and then I do the knot. And then it stops with it up, which is so convenient. And I use my this thing for my leg. I forgot what it's called, the freehand system. And I really like it. It's something that I actually had from my old machine. Now, because I was able to do those knotting stitches wherever I can, I take my clippers and I clip the end. So I have as little of a mess as possible because sometimes I have quite a mess to clean up before I quilt or before I make the quilt sandwich. And what I want to show you here, if you get in, this is perfect. I just pieced several blocks together, and I used to have a few that I had to undo because it just didn't work well. This seems to work well each time. I didn't have that much luck on any machine, even my previous Bernina. So I'm really thrilled with that. And that's what I wanted to show you. And I usually sew this down flat, or I'm sorry, I usually iron it down flat or press it down flat. But those are things maybe I'll show you in another video. The next video I'm going to be talking about the Quilter's planner that I have and why I love it so much. My sewing machine will probably be in the shop because I'm getting new attachments for it, the magnifying glasses attachment, so it'll hold on to it, and I'll probably show it to you at one stage why I always have that on every machine that I'll ever have. I'll always have that attachment. So thank you very much. Signing off.